Hey guys, Annie here. So in the last video Nate and I did together, we did a Pokemon card unboxing. We're both getting really back into the actual card game because, like I said before, we're really lame and don't have smartphones. So we don't play Pokemon Go. So we're playing the online card game and building our own decks again so that we can do tournaments with each other and not just online. And the cards are really cool and they kind of bring back a lot of nostalgia. So like I mentioned in that video, I managed to hold on to some first generation Pokemon cards from when I was a kid back in early 2000. We're talking like 99, 2000, 2001 when the show was first getting really big, way before the Johto series started. So it was all Indigo League Pokemon cards. I think I have one card that is from the Johto series, and that's Houndoom. So I wanted to show you guys what the classic Gen 1 cards look like compared to what the new ones we opened look like, because it is like night and day, because they're not nearly as fancy or as pretty, and well, I still think they're pretty, but they're a lot different. So starting off real basic with the trainer cards. Now every single one of these cards I have a star down in the bottom corner here, which says that they're rare, and a lot of them are rare because they're not common, well, duh, because they're not common cards, or because they're holographic cards. Now back in the day, God, I sound old. Back in the day, a lot of the cards that were rare were the final evolution cards, or like really rare basic cards. Like Eevee cards were really rare. Holographic cards were really rare because
Mew and Mewtwo were hollow, but that's because they were, in Moltres, and like the legendaries
were all rare. So like I said, the holographic cards were considered rare cards because unlike the new ones, which I'm making a whole nother video about later, they didn't make a lot of them. You were lucky if you got one or two in a pack. Like, hell, if you got one out of 2 or 3 packs, you were lucky.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this is the basic trainer cards that I managed to hold on to. Like I said, they're really basic. There's not a whole lot of detail on them. If you look at the trainer cards today, there's a lot more detail, especially like the person ones. You see like all kinds of crazy detail going on now.
Yeah, they're very flat,
Yeah. So. And then we have the normal type cards, which have no holographics on them. They're just regular old playing cards. I've got a couple of evolutions like Elekid and Electabuzz, Aerodactyl. Some of the like Snorlax was considered a really rare card. Dragon types. This one was probably my favorite card and the hardest one to get for me as a kid because everybody wanted it. I didn't care about the legendary cards. Hell, I've got a couple of them. But Lapras was my favorite Pokemon that Ash Ketchum ever got, because I thought it reminded me of the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not a huge fan of the Loch Ness Monster.
But, yeah, you never saw him use them for anything but a boat, though.
I know!
He was kind of a dick. Oh. He never used them for battle, he just used them as a boat. But anyway.
Because he loves his Pokemon.
He didn't want them getting hurt. Anyway.
Because then he wouldn't have a boat.
Yeah.
So, those are the regular cards. Now, they used to make Team Rocket packs where you could buy and make a dark Pokemon set, which I have a few of those from the Team Rocket set, and you can tell not only because they're dark whatever, but they have this R on the card, which indicates that they are a Team Rocket Pokemon. And I thought it was kind of funny because you only ever saw Weezing, Arbok, Victory Bell, and Meowth in the show. So, you've got your Arbok, you've got your Weezing, and then you've got, Vileplume, Jolteon, Dragonite, Golbat, and Alakazam. Now, this guy, Alakazam in general, is this guy's favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. In the video game, once you get Psybeam, you can pretty much kick anybody's ass.
Yeah, the only downside is that there's no more Kadabras. They stopped producing Kadabra cards after 2003 because there was a magician who was doing a lawsuit against the company because he said Kadabra was in his likeness for like his stage performance because he had the bending spoons. His Kadabra, when you translate it to English, roughly translated into his name. So he didn't win the lawsuit, obviously, but
they got rid of it as a safety measure. So
yeah, which if I had known, I would have held on to my Kadabra because I had Abracadabra, Alakazam. My brother ripped up my Abra because he wanted the card because he had Kadabra and Alakazam, and I wouldn't give it to him because I was being petty and 12.
Yeah.
So he ripped up the card so neither one of us could have it. Because he knew if he stole it from me, I would have kicked his butt. Because I'm an awesome sister like that. He's bigger than me now, so it's okay. After the Dark deck, we had specialty cards where you could get different trainers' Pokemon, like Misty's Pokemon, Brock's Pokemon. You could even get Giovanni, who was the bad guy, Team Rocket's leaders' Pokemon. They had like Giovanni's Persian and whatnot. But here are some of the ones I have. Giovanni's Machamp, Blaine's Arcanine, Sabrina's Alakazam, Brock's Zubat, Lieutenant Surge's Raichu, and Misty's Poliwrath. And it's really cool because these are all the gyms that I fought as a kid in the game. I mean, Nate and I both kind of stopped playing the game after Gold and Silver came out because
we didn't know the Pokemon. We couldn't relate to them anymore.
We couldn't relate to the series anymore because we were growing up, but because like a lot of the Pokemon were just kind of dumb. I mean, yeah.
Something that's worth mentioning though is with the Team Rocket ones and the trainers and the regular ones. Not only is the art different, but the moves are also different. So that's another reason to have them because like we have, Lieutenant Surge's Raichu and a regular Raichu, while the regular Raichu can do a Giga Shock. Lieutenant Surge's can do a Mega Punch and a Thunderbolt. So it's different moves and different art and different things like that.
But another cool thing is that this Lieutenant Surge's Raichu plays along with the show because in the show his Raichu is weak. It has less abilities or less HP because he forced him to evolve before he learned certain moves, which is why in the show Pikachu could beat him. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool because in a regular Raichu the HP is 90, but Lieutenant Surge's is 70. So it's kind of cool that the cards actually play along with the show a little bit.
But as far as powers go, it has
as far
more
as power. It has because he evolved him pretty quick. But like I said, you find any decent Pikachu and the Pikachu's gonna beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And then we have my babies. I worked hard to find these. I spent like 2 years collecting just these cards because they were so rare growing up. And that is my collection of holographic cards. And I love it because it's just the background. You can see it's not the whole card. It's just the background. And these were super, super rare. I spent more money buying Pokemon booster packs just to track down good cards or these cards to trade people. I ended up trading, where are you? I ended up trading, oh, he's in this one. Like 2 or 3 packs of Pokemon cards just for him. Because I really started getting into the fire Pokemon and building my deck more around them, even though I had a lot of like onesie-twosie of different elements to make it not so fire Pokemon heady. But I spent forever trying to get him from my neighbor. He was like, yeah, arm and a leg to trade. The big one though, that everybody wanted to have because it was just so incredibly hard to find, was the holographic Charizard. I actually looked it up the other night, and the holographic Charizard is going for like $300.
I had a friend who actually had one, and he loved to brag about it.
Yeah, it like I mean, I have Blastoise, which is pretty badass, and I have like Vaporeon and Chansey and Blissey and Ninetales, but none of these stack up to this Charizard. And I had a neighbor kid who had one too, but
seems like everyone had a friend or a neighbor that had one, but we didn't have one.
Yeah, he was the only one who had it in the school district.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
there was like probably about 5 kids in my middle school that had one.
No, he was the only one who collected the cards who had it in my school district growing up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. And then my 2 favorite cards. They're my 2 favorite cards because I got them while I was in Japan because I was stationed there for a couple of years, and I found these out on the market. They were just selling them onesie-twosies. And they're so cool. I have no idea what they say. But they're Team Rocket cards.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah, they're Team Rocket cards. So it's a Team Rocket Mew and a Team Rocket Moltres. And they're really cool because not only is the holographic slightly different and the art slightly different, the back is completely different. So you know that it's from a completely different part of the world.
Yeah. It actually, as you can see, it says Pocket Monsters, which is what supposedly Pokemon translates into.
Yeah, Pokemon is just an acronym for Pocket Monsters, which is cool because, you know, Pokemon, Pocket Monsters. I love it. I love it. Yeah, because it's just kind of like, oh, hey, no, not all the cards are the same. I could never play them in battle because I have no idea what they say.
And you would, as soon as it's up next, you would know because the back's different.
Yeah, and you would know because of, I wouldn't know which one it was, but I'd know when my cool cards were coming up. And then I have these guys. And I love it because they classify them as an evolution, but they're not. Because Mewtwo did come from Mew. But Mewtwo was created in the lab. Mm-hmm. Where Mew was not. And I love it because this card is a promo card. If you can see it, that little star right there has promo written all up in it. So, because this one came out right about the time of the movie or right after the movie. Yeah. Because they were doing a lot of Mewtwo promos.
Well, yeah, because that was the movie. That was the first time you saw Mew, so people were kind of like getting excited.
It's the first time you saw Mewtwo as well. Like, you got a glimpse of him in the last episode right before the movie.
Yeah, you saw like his silhouette.
You caught a glimpse of him right before in the episode that they aired right before the movie because the movie is supposed to segue from one season to another.
And then the movie was supposed to be like the in-between or
something. Yeah, because, you know, that's the way you do it. But, yeah, there was a lot of promo going on. Because it's cool, because this one even says new species, and this one says genetic Pokemon. Which lets you know that this guy was man-made. So, yeah, I love these cards. And I like this one because not only do we have this card of Mew, we have the other promo card that I'm jealous of because this guy got it. And
yeah, well, technically, of these cards, this is the only one that I actually own. Good thing we're married.
I know.
What's mine is yours. But yeah, so when Pokemon 2000 came out...
No, it wasn't Pokemon 2000.
Was it?
Pokemon the movie.
Pokemon the movie, and then, yeah, it was Pokemon 2000. But yeah, the first Pokemon movie to ever come out, they were giving away... Well, they said it was opening night that they were going to give away these specialty cards with your
Ticket.
with your ticket. I ended up seeing it like the second night, and it was basically a while supplies last kind of deal. So it wasn't just the first night while supplies last. And it's the Egyptian Mew, also referred to as the Ancient Mew. But it's the only. Well, first off, it's called the Egyptian Mew because it's written in hieroglyphics.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends actually looked up what they meant once. I don't remember what they mean. Who cares? But it's also the only card that's hollow in. That's the background, the everything. It is completely 100%
Holographic, at least
holographic
of the time.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know how many of these are actually still in. Like this thing has been in this case pretty much since the day, like a day or two after I got it. So it's been sealed like this for over 16 years.
Yeah,
Protected.
no, because Pokemon the movie came out in '99.
Yeah, so 16, 17 years.
Because Pokemon 2000 came out in 2000.
So, but yeah, I would never sell this thing.
Yeah,
I would never sell it.
I wish
It was free though. Technically, it was free. I mean, with the admission price, but
I wish that I had kept better tabs on some of these cards because, like I said, if I still had my Kadabra, that's worth a lot. But between moving and, like, because I've moved from the States to Japan, back to the States, to Germany, back to the States, every which way, all over the place, shit gets lost, and now I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't take better care of them. So, like I said, we're trying to recapture that nostalgia because we're old.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all we got for you guys. I really just wanted to show you our classic cards and kind of segue into my next video about how different they are. So I'll be talking about that in my following video.
In the meantime, comment below which of these cards is your favorite.
Yeah, because like I said, I have several favorites in here, but each one is a different type. And while you're at it, if you have a favorite card that I didn't show you tonight or that he didn't talk about tonight, let us know. We'll see if we have it in one of our other decks. So, till then.